But before that, we have to thank Cheerful, our sponsor for this episode of Answered. If you ever need help figuring out gift ideas for a birthday or an anniversary, download the Cheerful app. It's totally free. Type in your friend's interests, select your budget, and it comes up with gift ideas for you. It's super easy. Thanks again to Cheerful for sponsoring this video. Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Ben from Should I Get It? You're watching Answered, and this is Shiv. Shiv is a good friend now and the owner of this Ferrari FF and also a 458 Italia. If you haven't seen that video on the 458 or the other FF video, recommend checking those out in the description. And today we're going to answer some of your questions that you've left for Shiv through Reddit and Facebook. So the first question is, does the Ferrari FF fit more than 2 adults comfortably?
Of course. Fits 4 adults with moderate comfort.
Moderate is the key word there.
Front, very comfortable. Rear, moderately comfortable.
Yeah, suspension-wise, it's comfortable. There is legroom in the back. It's not like a 911 or FRS 86, any of those cars.
Much more roomy than that. Yeah.
You could fit, I'd say, maybe a 30-minute ride. I'd be okay being back there. But I'm not trying to go on a NorCal to LA road trip in the back of this car.
If you have small children, toddlers, young adults, perfect.
Yes, great car. So this car is really fast. It fits 4 people. It has space for things. Why not a Tesla Model S or Model X Plaid? Those are fast.
Yeah, but they're awful. Because 10 years from now, we're not going to have cars like this even available to buy. They'll either be outlawed or no longer available or all in museums somewhere. So why would I spend my active, not too old life to not enjoy something like this? I can enjoy a Tesla when I'm 90.
That's very
I don't need to enjoy it now.
Yeah. How many miles do you have on your FF?
Just over 30,000 now. 30,022.
Nice. And you put on
20,000 of them? Yeah.
Got it. And how's the reliability been? A lot of people are scared about the all-wheel drive reliability and maintenance on this car. What do you have to say?
Personally, I've had no problems. Zero. Zilch. I've done my oil changes, brake fluid flush, and that's it. Now, I attribute a lot of those failures just through misuse and abuse. I know, like a lot of people, they get an all-wheel drive car, and the first thing they think is, I'm just going to launch it hard.
Yep, WRX owners.
Exactly. Get all 4 wheels spinning, and that's what it's designed to do, right? Wrong. Ferrari specifically says this all-wheel drive system is just for inclement weather, not for hard launches. And I can imagine that hard launching is the cause for a lot of these P2 failures. I don't do that, so it doesn't affect me. And if I do get a P2 failure, there are options now available to fix it. Legitimately fix it, like not just replace it with another faulty part, but fix it.
So the cost before, because I looked at FFs 4 or 5 years ago. True story, I was going to move in with my parents and buy an FF because I
Great compromise.
I thought I wouldn't lose money on it. I'd get food for my parents and I'd be able to drive a Ferrari at like 22. Did not happen though. But the PTU scared me. It was like 30 grand to fix it, and it would replace the part with the same part. And now there are companies that will take care of it for
about 8 to 10,000.
Got it.
And fix it. Replace the part that breaks and put in their new billet part. And good to go.
Got it. In the other video, you said the fuel economy is like 10, 11, 12 miles per gallon.
I don't like to think about it.
How many miles can you get on a tank?
You know what? I don't know, honestly.
Do you ever find yourself going on a long drive and you're like, oh, I have to go fill up again?
No. It's got a 22 or 23 gallon tank, so it'll do. On a highway, probably get 300 mile radius, range, not radius, range. So more than enough. But then again, I wouldn't really use this car to go cruising down to Los Angeles and back.
Yeah.
It's kind of a waste of a really nice car just to sit in the interstate.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, speaking of which, have you driven a GTC4 Lusso?
Yes.
And how does that compare in terms of comfort and fun on the road?
Personally, I tend to have problems with cars with active rear steer. I don't like the way they feel. They feel kind of spooky, like the rear wants to step out prematurely. And for people who like to drive and who have driving experience, that's one of the telltale things you feel for when you determine handling balance.
Yeah.
But when the car purposely induces that behavior without being anywhere near the limit, or at least induces a behavior that subjectively feels like that, it really does set the alerts off, which are not good if you like to drive.
Yeah.
No question that it'll be quicker A to B under most conditions and most drivers. But as far as confidence, inspiring confidence, it doesn't do that for me. That aside, the car is more luxurious. It's better insulated from sound.
Yeah.
It's got more updated infotainment, obviously. And if that's the priority, then definitely a better car. The downside of it for me is, besides the rear wheel steer, is it's pretty isolated. I found the FF to be a very nice compromise between rawness and usability and comfort.
Yeah.
It had just enough rawness to make me feel, it's a Ferrari.
Yeah.
I feel the Lusso a little bit more detached from the Ferrari soul.
So more luxury cars and sports car feeling?
More like, and even the design. Even the design, if you look at it, it's more conventional. It's handsome, but it's more conventional than the FF.
Yeah.
And I feel Ferrari probably did that to quell some of the complaints from people who found the looks too polarizing. But Ferrari should be polarizing.
Yeah.
Cars like this should be If they're not polarizing, someone didn't do their job.
Yeah. You love it or hate it.
Yeah.
The top question is, would you trade your 458 for the 296 and the FF for a GTC4 Lusso or Pure Sangue and a good chunk of cash? So if someone offered you money to take those cars.
The difference between the Pure Sangue right now is what, like $400,000?
Somewhere there, yeah.
If someone offered me $250,000 to drive a Pure Sangue and I'll give this up, I know the money's with it. I'd buy two of these with that extra surplus cash. So of course, that's just numbers. But as far as driving, no, I wouldn't pick the Pure Sangue or a Lusso for this.
Got it. Okay, and final question. If for some reason you had to give up one of the Ferraris,
yes,
between the 458
that's a good
and the
question.
FF, which Ferrari is staying in the garage?
Don't know. I can't answer that question. It's like saying, which one are your children?
Yes.
Well, that's true. I can't answer that question, can I? If you asked me 5 years ago, I would say 458 without a question.
Okay.
You ask me now, I can't answer that as readily. It's
Do you find you're taking this car out?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This car I drive more, and it's just not just the fact it's more comfortable and bigger and more usable. It's very fun in its own way, in a way that 458 is not. 458 is a very driver-focused car, meaning that you can't chill in it. When you're driving it, your brain's on. Your brain's on. Yeah. This is on, like I told you earlier, this is not a car you can steer with your knees holding a latte.
Yeah, the steering's too quick.
The steering's too quick, and it's just too easily changes direction, right?
Yeah.
458 even more so. So it demands a little more as a driver. And as you get older, I feel that maybe you just want to chill for more % of your time.
Yeah.
Right? So in that case, I think the Ferrari 458, it asks a bit much. And when you're in the mood to be asked that, it's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Nothing touches it. But if you just want to get in and drive, listen to the beautiful engine, and just feel some basic car dynamics every now and then, this car does something special. It's good. And it all kind of boils down to that V12. There's something about a silky Ferrari V12 that just is in a class by itself, even compared to their best V8s.
Yeah.
It just velvety, like it sounds like, take a sheet of paper and just grip it. It just has that nice kind of smoothness combined with an overtone of like harshness.
Yeah.
That makes it sound so makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Yeah.
I swear there must be some sort of parallel with how we, as prehistoric people, maybe we must have had some sort of safety cry that sounds like that, and that's why we react so so instantly to it, right? I mean, there must be some biological reason. Whatever it is, it's special. It's truly special, and people who say they don't care about the way the cars sound, they're wrong. I mean, they've never had a good sounding car, or they just don't want to believe it. But if having a good sounding car checks off, I would say 50% of all the boxes.
Yeah.
Because you hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Every downshift, every time you come into a parking lot, every time you just take off from a start, you hear it. And when it sounds good, it just makes you feel special in ways that, supercharged V6 in a Mira won't.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
As good as that car is,
Yeah.
that engine will not make you.
And one note that I'll share, since we've driven the FF a lot in the last 2 days, this car works in all situations. Like, we went out to eat, we could take the FF. We went out for a drive, we could take the FF. It's raining, you could still take the FF.
Yep. That's when you take the FF, when it rains.
Right.
It's so good.
But it's like, you don't have to think about, can I or should I? You just go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I mean. And it's, you can't even call it a jack of all trades, master of none, because it's a master of so many trades.
Yeah.
You would not expect a car to have, to be this. It's so far removed from a 458 in terms of general design and weight balance and where the mass is centralized.
Yeah.
Everything is so different. But Ferrari driving DNA, it carries through. The way it overreacts to initial inputs, steering inputs, is amazing. The way you can be mid-corner, make a small throttle lift, a small steering input, and immediately the chassis pops, just a little hop, skip in the back, and it settles exactly where you want it to settle. And it's not done electronically, it's all done through physics and contact patches and suspension kinematics. It's really a really involving, special thing, like all Ferraris from this generation.
Yeah.